Fading the public won again last week, going 4-1 here in this video. We have now cashed 5 of the 6 weeks fading the public this season, and I've got 4 big public plays for week 7 here for both Sunday and Monday night. Free for you. Let you know if we should play them or fade them. Fade the public week 7 starts right now. Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV. And last week, fading the 5 public plays I gave you in this video went 4-1 overall. In fact, on the season now, 19-10 fading the public, including 16-8 on the official plays. I do have 4 official public plays this week for week 7, but I want to point out real quick that I thought the public consensus this week was less than I've seen in many seasons on any given week. I did get 4 plays that are pretty public still, but I find it interesting. The public's lost 5 of the 6 weeks in this video so far, and all of a sudden, very little consensus this week. In fact, several public dog leans, including 1 official public dog, which I'm going to give you in this video. But there are 4 public plays that jump out. We'll go down in start time order. First couple games go at 1 o'clock Eastern, and at 1 Eastern, the New England Patriots. And this isn't a surprise. New England's having a nice season, currently in first place in the AFC East, but it's also more of a fade of the Tennessee Titans. Public wants nothing to do with Tennessee. They look like perhaps once again the worst team in the NFL. So not a surprise that the public is on New England here, and I'm not in a hurry to back Tennessee, but it also doesn't look like a great spot for the Patriots. What I will say is this: if you like New England, grab the 6.5s while they're still available. I'm doing this video on Saturday morning. There's a few spots at 6.5 still out there. Other spots have gone to that key number of 7. If you like Tennessee, you wait. You definitely get a +7 or more by Sunday. If you like the Patriots, I'd grab the 6.5s while they're still out there, as there's probably about a 4 to 5% chance. I'd say about a 5% chance this game lands on exactly 7, as the total is fairly low in this one, just around 42.5. And that, of course, is because Tennessee has just been a terrible offensive team this year. And while I mentioned earlier, I don't like the scheduling spot here for New England after 3 straight big wins in a row. The back-to-back wins against Carolina and Buffalo, and then a win last week at New Orleans. Keep in mind, that was a bad scheduling spot, and the Patriots still found a way to win by 6 points as a 3.5-point road favorite. So after 3 straight wins and coverage, you do worry for a little bit of a regression. The problem is, I just don't know if Cam Ward and company have enough offense to do anything in this game. Cam Ward's been very mediocre this season. In fact, mediocre is being nice. 55% completions, 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and a terrible 67.3 rating. Meanwhile, Drake May has been one of the best young quarterbacks in the NFL. Everyone loves the Drake. Hey, look, it's been a few weeks. It's time for some more Seinfeld comments. Drop them in the comments below. You know I read them. You know I reply back. And boy, do I get some laughs when you all start dropping the Seinfeld comments. Everybody loves the Drake. The Drake is great. Love the Drake. Drake May's a much better quarterback. And one thing I don't like to do is play bad teams and ask them to do something good for you. Also don't like to play bad quarterback matchups. So while we don't just blindly fade the public, we often just pass on some of these games. Tough call here, but once again, if you like the Patriots, grab the 6.5. If you like Tennessee, wait and get +7. I think there are probably better games to play here in week 7. By the way, if you're new to my NFL Fade the Public video, I give you the most public sides each week. The long-term premise is that fading these will make you money. And so far this season, fading these official public plays, as I said, is 16-8-1, 67% against the spread. And there's a few reasons why it works long-term. First of all, the line is usually inflated, and that's the case here. It's going 6.5 up to 7, so you get some line value. And also because normally the public over and under reacts short-term basis, and New England after 3 straight wins and covers probably is due for a bit of regression. But I use this as a filter. We don't just blindly fade the public, and one of my favorite filters is to eliminate ugly teams like Tennessee. I just don't back bad teams, so I have no interest in the Titans in this one. And something else I'd like to do is play public dogs, or fade public dogs. We're going to get to that in a moment, as I do have a public dog for you on the late card here at 4 Eastern. But let's look at the other early game at 1 Eastern that's very public, and that's the Chicago Bears minus the 4.5 to -5. And this is a situation in which I think we can fade the public with some confidence for a few reasons. First of all, tough spot for Chicago. Oh, by the way, I meant to mention also another reason I'm very lukewarm on fading New England this week, even though I don't think it's a great spot. Mike Vrabel, first-year coach for New England, returns after coaching 5 or 6 seasons in Tennessee, taking them to the AFC Championship game. He was let go a couple years ago. Sources say that if he gets the chance to run up the score, he's going to look to do so. So maybe a Patriot team total over could be worth a look in that regard. That's currently priced at around 24.5. Once again, New England might try to run up the score if they get the chance. I think Vrabel would like to make a statement against a really bad Tennessee team. That's another reason I'm in no hurry to fade the public in that New England-Tennessee game. All right, let's look at New Orleans, Chicago. This is a game in which I would fade the public and go with the ugly underdog Saints, the 1-5 straight up Saints. Not a good record straight up, but they've been pretty feisty overall. In fact, last week, once again, they lost by just 6 points. In fact, 3 of their 5 losses this year have come by 7 points or less. They've all been within a touchdown, within a 1-score margin. So I do think they can hang here against a Bears team that could be in a little bit of a flat spot. 3 straight wins and covers, including 3 straight underdog wins and covers, including the Monday night road win against not my Washington Commanders. And that wasn't a surprise. I had a strong client best bet last Monday night for my clients at WagerTalk.com on the Bears. Coming off the bye week, I thought it was a focus spot. Their offense has been getting better. But this looks like a potential letdown spot now after 3 straight up underdog wins, laying more than a field goal against a weaker team. And while Spencer Rattler's been nothing special this year, I do think he can have some success against a pretty bad Chicago defense. The Bears are getting better offensively, and that's why I like them Monday night against the Commanders, because Washington's defense is equally as bad. Saints actually have a decent defense. I know that sounds weird when you give up 27 points a game, but if you look at the bad positions their offenses put them in, they also, if you factor in opponents' play, they've given up just 5.5 yards per play against teams that average 5.8. The Bears, meanwhile, have given up 6.6 yards per play against teams that average just 5.9. So we are getting the better offense with Chicago, but we're getting the better defense with New Orleans in a good scheduling spot and some line value. I think this is a spot where you can fade the public. Take a look at the Saints +5. Now, there's currently +4.5s out there, also +5s. So shop around. Public is on Chicago, so I think you should be able to find some +5s by Sunday on the New Orleans Saints. That's also at 1 o'clock Eastern. All right, let's get to that late afternoon game at 4 o'clock Eastern. I was talking about in ding ding, red flag alert, public underdog. By the way, fading the public dogs is a perfect 3-0 this season in this video. And we've got a good public dog here to fade, in my opinion, at 4 o'clock Eastern. That's the New York Giants +7. Public loves them some Giants all of a sudden after last Thursday night, in which Jackson Dart and Skidaboo, whatever you want to call him, a little running back. Giants upset the Eagles on Thursday Night Football. In fact, we're 7-1 this year on my Thursday night games, and that's the only one we missed. And I didn't really like that game either way. I told you in the video, was lukewarm on it, but I'm giving you every Thursday night game and trying to give you a free opinion in every one of them. That's the only one that got us. We're 7-1 because we had an easy over winner with the Steelers-Bengals this past Thursday night. 7-1 of those free prime games on Thursday night. Last year we had over 70% Thursday night NFL games. Don't forget, click subscribe, click the bell, and you will get an instant alert when that Thursday night video goes up each and every week. I also do the Sunday night games. I've got your Falcons 49ers video for tonight, for Sunday night this weekend. Also, both Monday night games, a 2-for-1 Monday night video. Last week, I gave you 2 of those, doing it again this week. If you're finding it useful, just a quick thumbs up like while we're talking here, and I will keep these videos coming. And the more positive comments below, let me know if you're liking these videos, and I will keep more of them coming as well. Of course, this Fade the Public video will keep coming each week, but I'm doing a lot of standalone free play videos as well. In fact, I did all 10 weeknight college football games last week. All 10 of those Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, mostly ugly games I gave you for free. And by the way, we missed a few of them, and people were like, Steve, you went 0-2 Wednesday night. You had a couple unders. I told you in the video, not a huge fan of either game, but I try to give you my opinion and my analysis of every game. Don't forget, if you want my official best bets, go to my page, WagerTalk.com, Steve Merril. That's where they're listed. But in these videos, I let you know how I'm looking at the games. I'm handicapping it because I know many of you are doing your own handicapping as well. And yes, this public data is very useful as a filter and part of the NFL handicapping process. And this is a game I like. I like to fade public dogs for a few reasons. First of all, the public is normally on favorites, so we don't get a lot of public dogs. So it's a little bit of an extra red flag alert, as I joke about. But also, I mentioned I don't like to play bad teams, and that's why that New England-Tennessee game just doesn't appeal to me. But the nice thing about fading public dogs is, by definition, you're normally getting the better team as a favorite, and that's the case here with the Denver Broncos -7. Broncos were in a bad spot last week. In fact, I gave you a free play video last weekend on the Jets. They covered basically from start to finish as a 7-point dog. And I told you the one thing about the Jets is they can keep games close against mediocre offensive teams. Well, maybe that's the case in this game as well with the Giants, because they're not an explosive offense. I know they put up 34 points on Thursday Night Football, but keep in mind they'd scored 21 or less in 4 of their other 5 games this season. Jackson Dart is an upgraded quarterback, and it does look like he might be the real deal. He had an excellent preseason as well. But this is a very difficult scheduling spot for a couple reasons. First of all, they're coming off the big divisional Thursday night national TV win against the Eagles. I know they had a couple extra days, so it's almost like a mini bye week. But it's also just the second road game for Jackson Dart. His only other road game came against the Saints a couple weeks ago on October 5th, and he had his worst outing of the season with 2 interceptions and a 73 rating. He had no picks in either home game. This is an even tougher spot. The thin air and altitude, Mile High Stadium against a better Denver team. And I will also point out that Bo Nix and company, Sean Payton and company, the last couple of years have dominated teams as a favorite. They beat up on weaker teams. I know they didn't cover against the Jets last week in London, but that was a bad spot. They were coming off the upset win against the Eagles, just like the Giants are now, and had to travel overseas. That's one of the reasons I gave you the Jets as a free play last week. I thought it was a good spot to fade Denver. I think back at home now, the Broncos will play better this week. Last year, first year with Bo Nix, the Broncos were a perfect 8-0 straight up and against the spread as a favorite. They won and covered every game. I think 7 of those 8 wins were by double digits, if I recall. This year, they've been pretty good as a favorite once again. The straight-up record has been very strong. Their only loss actually came against the Colts, and they were a 1-point road favorite. That was pick 'em in some spots. The other 3 times they've been favorites this year, they've won. So even if you count that Colts loss as a favorite loss, which is borderline, they're still 11-1 straight up as a favorite the last 2 seasons since Nick's joined the team. And a couple close ones to the point spread this year. Point spread record would be now, 1, 2, 3 losses as a, no, 2 losses as a, 3 losses as a favorite. They failed to cover by a point against both Tennessee and the Colts. So 11-1 straight up, 9-3 against the number the last 2 years, but 2 of the point spread losses are by a single point. So they've really been good as a favorite. Like Denver in this spot, definitely have no problem fading the Giants after that big Thursday night win. They've been a bad team overall this year. We'll find out if Jackson Dart is for real, but the Giants' rush defense has struggled. Denver doesn't throw the ball great, but they do run the ball okay, and they have a huge defensive edge in this game. I like the Broncos -7 or less. Let's fade that public underdog, the New York Giants. All right, those are your 3 public plays for Sunday. The 2 early games, once again, the public is on the Patriots and the Bears, and then the public dog, the New York Giants. The most public play of the week actually comes Monday night, and there's 2 games Monday, and once again, I break both of them down. Buccaneers, Lions, Texans, Seahawks, in a 2-for-1 Monday night video here on WagerTalk TV. Click subscribe, click that bell for an instant alert when it goes up. But the most public play of the week is the late Monday night game, the Seattle Seahawks. The public is all over Seattle, minus the 3 to 3.5. And as I said earlier, one of the reasons fading the public works is because you get line value. The lines often get inflated, and I think that could be the case in this game. It's a very low total, 41, which means there's about a 9 to 10% chance it lands exactly on that key number of 3. Seattle wins by exactly 3. In fact, I'm going to predict this 3-point win by Seattle. Right now, you can get the Seahawks -3. Other spots, as of this weekend, are starting to go to 3.5. I think by Monday night, there'll be more 3.5s as the public is coming in on Seattle. I actually don't want to fade the public in this one, though. It would be Seahawks or pass for me, but you got to get -3 or less. If you like Seattle as I do, lay the -3 now. If you're going to play Houston, wait. There's some 3.5 starting to show, and I think there'll be more of them by Monday night. So this is an example of really shopping for line value, having multiple outs. Probably will make the difference. Seattle -3 or Houston +3.5. I would prefer to have Seattle -3. I'm not a fan of playing the most public side, but once again, I think the Seahawks are the better overall team, and they have a much stronger offensive edge in this game, throwing the ball. Houston has been strong defensively, no question about it. They've given up just over 12 points a game, but they're going to be tested in this one. Sam Darnold's having a fantastic season. If you throw out those first 5 years with the Jets and Panthers, Darnold's been as good as anybody in the league the last 2 seasons with Minnesota and now Seattle. Over 40-some touchdowns, over 4,300 yards passing last year alone in Minnesota, having another breakout season this year in Seattle. Seahawks are averaging 9.2 yards per pass attempt against teams that allow just 6.8. Houston's got a strong pass-off defense, 5.7 allowed, but they've only played teams that average 6.5. This is a huge step up in class for the Houston defense, and their offense has been very mediocre. In fact, they're averaging only 21.5 points a game against teams that allow 24.5. Seahawks are giving up just 19.5. So 2 good defensive teams, but I think Seattle holds a substantial edge offensively, especially in the passing attack. At -3 or less, even though it's a very public side this week, I would still rather be on the Seattle Seahawks than the Texans in this one. That's your late Monday night game on ESPN at 10 p.m. Eastern. By the way, I asked you this in my Monday night video. Do you like the staggered starts? Did you like last week better with the 1-hour staggered start, or do you like the 3-hour difference like this week? Hey, drop your thoughts below. And also, where do you agree or disagree with these 4 public sides this week, Week 7 of the NFL? Fading the public's been really profitable, and it looks like the public's getting a little apprehensive. Like I said, there wasn't a lot of consensus this week. These were the only 4 games that jumped out to me, and I saw a little bit of some public dog leans in other games. What are your thoughts? The public finally going to get one right? They've only won 1 of these 6 weeks so far here in the video, and fading them overall, 16-8 on official plays this season, including 3-0 fading the public dogs. Which ones do you agree or disagree with? What other NFL games do you like for this Sunday, Week 7? Drop them in the comments below. I do read the comments. I reply back. And hey, include some analysis if you have time. Let's learn and earn and win together here on WagerTalk TV. And once again, if you're liking this video and you want to see more free play videos every day, every week, click the thumbs up like. Takes 2 seconds. Boom. Thank you so much. Don't forget, subscribe. Almost 225,000 subscribers. Can't be wrong. Click subscribe for free and consider clicking that bell as well. You will get an instant alert when my Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night NFL videos go up, my weeknight college football games, my top 25 video, my NFL Fade the Public video. Click subscribe, click that bell for an instant alert. And oh, by the way, NBA basketball starts this Tuesday. College hoops starts the following Monday. World Series starts this next week on Friday. Baseball playoffs are still going. College and pro football, basketball around the corner. Yes, you guessed it. It's a great time to be an all sports, all access client at WagerTalk.com. And as I mentioned earlier, I give you a lot of free play videos on Spotlight National TV games. I gave you this public data. But if you want to get my official plays, the games I am personally using each day, we've hit over 65% the past several weeks in both baseball and football. Red hot once again in October here. Now's a great time to get on board. All 5 sports are about to go. In fact, next week when college hoops begins, the following Monday, it is the only time of the year where you can get every major sport I release all at once. College and pro football, college and pro basketball, and baseball as the World Series will still be going on. Great time to be an all-sports client. Now, if you're new, if you want to try out a small package, I have a 7-day sampler still available for just $69. Normally it's $99, but use promo code WEEK30, WEEK30, WEEK30 at checkout to get the 7-day down to $69. That's an instant 30% $30 discount. That's why the promo code is WEEK30. 7 days, not for $99, for just $69 when you use WEEK30 as a promo code at checkout. Or if you want it simple and no promo codes needed, I got several special offers. Instant $50 off a 1-month football package on my page right now. Or how about the best one? Instant $500 discount on a 1-year all-sport all-access. Go to my page right now. You'll see them on the left-hand side of the page, right above the daily free play. That's right. Check out the bonus free play, including a free NFL Sunday play on my page right now, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. And let's talk more about that 1-year all-access. You know, if you're ready to take a serious, consistent investment approach, just like I've done for the past 29 years as a full-time professional handicapper, if you want to get my exact best bets that I'm using each and every day, the 1-year all-access is the way to go because it gets it down to about $1 a play. And it is a true 365-day package because if I ever pass, say it's a small card, just a couple games on the board, I never force anything. Only strong best bets go out to my clients. So if I ever pass on a given day, like say it's a small card on a Tuesday or Wednesday, you get an extra day at it. So it is a true 365 days of best bet service, all access, all sports. And it's about $1 a play with that instant $500 discount. Check it out right now. And oh, by the way, you can also see the best bets recapped every day on my page. Go to the bottom of the page. You'll see the previous 20 best bets, a rolling recap every day. You can also click on the plays to read the analysis afterwards to get a feel for how I do things. And once again, we can all learn and earn and win together at WagerTalk.com. Check it out now. The best bet special offers, the bonus daily free play, and there's great offers and best bets right now for Sunday Pro Football. I love this card. We've hit 67% the last couple Sundays, looking to sweep the board this Sunday with an even stronger outing in the NFL. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, and get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. Finding these videos useful, once again, comment below, thumbs up, like, subscribe, and click the bell. And also, be sure to follow me on social media at Steve Merril, 2 R's, 1 L, Merril, at Steve Merril on X and Instagram. And stay tuned here to Wager Talk TV because you know there are more free play videos coming up, including your Sunday night video between the Falcons and 49ers, and then both those Monday night games analyzed for free right here on Wager Talk TV.